What we have here is the AKKO 3061 keyboard. It is a nice compact keyboard with gator-on yellows, which are pretty nice. That being said, this keyboard could use a little bit of lube, so we're going to be doing that in this video as well. So first of all, it has some nice looks. It's got some keys that you can swap out, and it gives you a nice little three-tone color. We got a navy dark, purplish blue, we got a purple kind of here, and some red-orange color. And out of the other two compact keyboards, this has been my favorite so far, mainly because of its mappings and its reliability. As this is a wireless keyboard that runs off Bluetooth 5.0, or you can go ahead and run it off USB. The choice here is of course yours. It does have a dedicated on-off switch. We do have 3 different levels of speed adjustments, which are pretty damn solid. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see how this keyboard sounds when it's lubed up. And we are back, and guess what? It still works perfectly fine. Not the greatest way to do it, but I just wanted to give you a worst case scenario of what kind of results you can get. But in the end, it does work, and it's the laziest way to do it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about actual performance. I've mainly used this keyboard in Bluetooth, but I have also tested it with the direct connection. And knowing that, here are my experience with Bluetooth. So it works fine for the most part, except every now and then you may get some weird glitches, like a little slight delay on one of the key presses, or sometimes you may get a random key stuck, which you press a key and then it would keep pressing it until you press another key to refresh it. Both of those issues I've seen in other keyboards, the Blitzwolf as well as the motor speed, and it seems like it's just a common issue with Bluetooth keyboards. But in that regard, it all comes down to what you have in your room, what your computer setup is, as well as what kind of Bluetooth controller your computer is running. And I have only noticed those issues during Call of Duty. So any problems that you encounter, you'll lose your game and become frustrated. So with that said, if you are going to be playing FPS games, do use the direct connection. Now speaking of directly being hooked up, this is how it looks like. It's nice and snug, and it kind of fills up the space, so there is no slack, and it keeps that Type-C connection nice and secure. And of course, you probably noticed that most of the YouTubers out there have their keyboards directly connected. Now when it comes to battery life, I found myself charging this thing about once a week or so, maybe a week and a half. Not the greatest battery life, but it is what it is. It does have RGB, but is just very unnoticeable, especially with this layout. The LEDs don't pass through the letters, and between the keys there is not a whole lot of reflection. It's a black plate, and you're losing a whole lot of that light. So if you want, you can go ahead and find yourself some other keycaps, but that would just ruin the whole aesthetic of this keyboard and the whole point of getting this. You're getting it because it's a pre-made keyboard that has these keys with this layout and this color backplate. And the only thing I wish this keyboard had was maybe a brass base plate. Maybe make this keyboard heavier because it does slide around on my bamboo tabletop. And the last thing to talk about here would have to be the logical function keys. This thing does not have any software, which is a plus and a minus for some people, but in my case, I do find this keyboard to be very intuitive. It makes sense, and you really don't even need to actually reference the manual for a whole lot of things. For example, the delete key is function plus backspace. For arrow keys it's WASD, for print screen it's P, and the FN keys on the top. The rest are going to be in the manual, which I'll leave in the description down below if you guys are interested. But yeah, I got used to this keyboard, found the layout to be very, very standard, and feels really good. And overall, I have really enjoyed my time with this keyboard. It's been great, it's been comfortable, and most importantly, it has been functional. So with all that being said, guys, that is all for this video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.